So let's go on to the next one. We're now going to bring in a little bit of brackets in there, right? And negatives. What? Oh, wait, multiplication. What do I got? X times negative x. What will that be? X times x is x to the power 2. And then we got positive times a negative. What's a positive times a negative? Negative. If I've got x to the power 2 multiplied by negative x to the power 3, I first have to work this one out here. This is the same as saying negative x times itself 3 times. 2 negatives make a positive, 3 negatives make a negative, 4 negatives make a positive, 5 negatives make a negative. So if you have an odd number of negatives, you're going to end up with a negative answer, and this is x times x times x, which is x to the power of 3, right? I'm going to bring that down, and I'm going to multiply it now. And this is going to get me 2 plus 3, which is going to get me 5. So this is negative x to the power of 5. Okay. All right. When we're dividing, we subtract. If I've got x to the power 4 over x, what's 4 minus 1? 3, right? What if I've got x to the power 7 over x to the power 4? X to the power 3. If I've got x to the power 5, y to the power 5 over x cubed y squared. X to the power of 3. Almost. 5 minus 3 is 2, and then 5 minus 2? 3. And that'll be a final answer there. Okay? The next thing is we have x to the power 2 actually in a bracket cubed. This is the same as writing it 3 times. And then we add it up, 2 plus 2 plus 2, which will get me 6. That's method 1, right? So method number 2, all you have to do is take those two numbers and multiply them, which will get you x to the power of 6. Same answer, right? But you just multiplied. Okay. Using that same idea, if I got x to the power 3, but now y to the power 4, and this time it's squared, in this case here, I have to just simply multiply it in, and 2 times 3 is going to get me 6, and 2 times 4 will get me 8. Okay, that's going to be x to the power 6, y to the power 8. All right, now I'm going to give you a quick test. Let's see if you can get all of these for the next 5 minutes, right? So question 1, try this one. Let's see, can you do what is 3xy plus x plus xy minus y? Question 2, what is x squared times x to the power 4, that means times, plus x to the power 6, and if I've got x cubed y to the power 7 squared, and then lastly 4, let's suppose I have x to the power 4, y to the power 3 over x, y. Take 2 minutes, write down the answers for these. It's now 12:39, so let's see if you're done at 12:41. Is like x over y to the power of 2? Yes. This is going to give you x to the top there, and then y, this is going to become 3, this is going to become 1, so y should. Alright, there's also equations in it which you can also prepare, but that's for more for end of the year, right? Let's look at your formulas. What about formulas that you know? Let's go into some measurement. Do you know the formula for the area of a trapezium?
No.
Alright, so trapezium, you have basically two sides here. So you've got A over here and you've got B over here, and these two sides are parallel, right?
Mm-hmm.
The formula to calculate the area of this is given, you have to know what the perpendicular height is, which is 90 degrees. So let's say this is 8 meters, let's say this is 7 meters, and let's say this is 10 meters. The area is going to be given by the formula half A plus B times height. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So half A plus B times height, this is going to be 8, this is going to be 10. So when I substitute it in here, I have to just carefully just put A as 7, so it's half of 7 plus 10 times 8. That will come to 4, and 4 plus 17. 4 times 17, sorry, did I make a mistake here?
Is it 8.5 times 8?
8.5 times 8.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's 17 and then half times 17.
You can use a calculator. You got a calculator? You can use this one here.
Thank you.
Type half and 0.5 you can use times 17 times 8.
68.
68. And don't forget your units, meters,
Mm-hmm.
squared. If they ask me for the perimeter for this here, okay, so this length over here, can you see this would be 3 meters over here? Because that's 7 meters, maybe. Sorry, not 7 meters. Actually, it'll be less. Let's make it something. I'm going to draw a line down here. Let's make this 1 meter. And let's make this 2 meters here. So the whole thing adds up to 10 meters because this is 7 meters, if this was a rectangle.
Mm-hmm.
How do I get, if I got two sides, how do I get the missing side here?
Half times width times height.
Can you remember Pythagoras' theorem? If I want to find this length, alright, so Pythagoras' theorem says if you've got a right angle triangle, something like that, you've got both sides like that. This is 2 and this is 8. So this is A and this is B and this is C. C squared equals A squared plus B squared. Okay. So if you got those two, you can work out this by calculating it using that formula. You would say 2 squared plus 8 squared, and that'll equal our question mark here, which let's call it x squared. That'll be 4 plus 64, which is 68. Then we square root it, and that'll give me my value of x. And then rounding to 3 significant figures will be 8.25. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this one here, this is 8 and this is 1. Do you want to try and do that here? See if you can get this one. Let's call this one y.
So 1 squared
Good.
plus 8 squared.
Yeah.
That's 1 plus 64 and 55.
Okay, good. And then don't forget to square root it.
8.06.
8.06. So this is 8.06. Now I can find the perimeter for this. The perimeter is the sum of all the sides. So what have I done now? I've got all the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, and I just add it up. This one is 8.25. So just go 8.25 plus 8.06 plus 7 plus 10. And that'll give me my perimeter.
Uh, 33.31.
33.31. Okay, good. So I've got a circle here. There's two formulas. The first thing we need the radius, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the radius will get me, my circumference is the same as my perimeter. Circumference is given by the formula 2 pi r. Or I could combine the 2 and the r and it will become pi times d, which is pi times diameter, right? Area is given by pi r squared. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So let's make it equal to 7. Get me the circumference and get me the area.
It's circumference.
To 3 significant figures.
44.
Good. 44.0. Perfect. And then this is, okay, let's put a meters there. That's fine. Okay, next one. Three significant. Yeah,
154.
154. Good. Meters squared. Okay, so you got that. Good with that. Circumference, area done. Let's go back to some conversions. How many centimeters in a millimeter? Fraction. How many degrees in an entire revolution?
360.
360. Now you take a pizza slice out of a pizza and you're taking 120 degrees out of it. What's your fraction going to come to?
120 over 360.
And that's exactly a third, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is this part if that's a third?
The rest would be 280. Oh no,
200 and
240.
40. And you can use a calculator in your test so that you can just minus that if you're not sure. And it'll get you
2/3.
2/3. And that's it, right? Can you see those two add up to 1?
Mm-hmm.
If you go 1/3, you can get 2/3. So this fraction here is 2/3 of the entire, if this entire circle was there, what's the formula for circumference?
2 pi r.
Pi r. Okay, this is going to be 4 pi r over 3. What's my r?
8.
8. So that becomes 32 pi over 3. Or you can just put all of that in the calculator. That's it. Thirty-two pi r. 301.6 meters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you get it? Let's take a step back there. Let's just put it back in there again. So what's my fraction here?
2/3.
2/3, good. So the fraction is going to be 2/3. And then the whole circumference is going to be 2 pi times 8. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 8 is 32 over 3. And then pi at the top. Let's double check that it should be divided by 3. Yeah? So it should be 33.5. Did you get that?
Yeah.
So the perimeter, the final answer is going to be take that number, 33.5, because this is that part there only. We still have to add 8 and the other 8. And then we're done.
So that's 49.5.
That's it. Cool. So it'll give you the parameters there. Okay, now go into volume. Alright, how are you feeling? Your brain sore? Okay. Alright. How do you calculate volume? Have you ever heard of something called cross-sectional area? Let's say this was chocolate and you had to cut it. You would cut it like this. If you cut it this way, you'll always have triangles, right? The same shape all the way through. But if you cut it this way, they'll all be different shapes. So that means this way is where the cross-sectional area is. So this triangle here is known as my cross-sectional area. Now we take that and we multiply it by depth. And my depth is this over here. So what we actually have is we've got triangles that are next to each other like that. And that creates the 3D effect, right? So if I want to calculate volume, all I have to do for this question is calculate the area of the triangle and multiply it by the depth. What's the area of a triangle? What's the formula?
Half times height times width.
Times, exactly. So it's going to be half of 12 times 6 times 5 is 30, right? So 30 centimeters squared. That's going to be this number here. And multiplied by depth. What's my depth?
20.
And what's 30 times 20?
600.
600. Okay. This one here, if I cut it this way, they'll all look the same shape. If I go this way, they'll all be different shapes. So this one here,
Well, 8A was 15.
the 15 is there for fun. Yeah, 15 is there for fun. That's a trick. All right, and we want to use everything, but we actually don't need the 15 to calculate the volume. We got our base, we got our height. Yeah. So for this one here, using the same formula, which one is going to be my depth? Do you think 36 is my depth or 10?
10.
10. So this is my depth. What is this? This is the cross-sectional area. So what do? Multiply it. That comes to 360. 1 mark, 1 answer. 2 marks, you have to show 1 line of working. And then an answer, right? And then don't forget the units. This one you're supposed to put units. Cube there. Okay, that's volume. Takes us on to trigonometry. Alright, maybe let's stick with measurement for now. And just reinforce some of these ideas. Okay. Let's see if I can find a question like this one. Create one here. Alright, give me 3 numbers. Any 3 numbers.
7, 6, 2.
7, 6, 2. Okay. I go to countdown and I buy a piece of cheese. And the piece of cheese is 762, you say, right? So let's say this is 7 centimeters. And let's say this is 2 centimeters. And let's say this is 6 centimeters, where that's 90 degrees. And this is my cheese block. And I want to find out what is the volume of the cheese. Okay, calculate that. How would you calculate that?
So 6 is yeah.
Good.
So is it 2 times? Oh no. 1 times 6.
Where did you get 1 from?
2 divided by 2.
Alright. Why would you divide 2 by 2?
There's a triangle.
What about the triangle?
You need to half it.
You need to half what?
So, yeah, so 2 times 7 divided by 2.
That's it.
And then there's a 7 times 6.
So once you got this answer, this becomes 7. And then you said 7? Times 6. Perfect. 7 times 6. Now we got that. So that's going to be 7. That's 6. Multiply those two together and you got your volume. So 7 times 6 will come to 42. And my units is supposed to be centimeters. So yeah, centimeters cubed. Yeah. Alright. If we use the units as it is, what should I have done first? Let's say this question was out of 3 marks. I only get 2 marks. What should I have done first to get the third mark? What can you see?
Calculate. You need to convert meters.
Good. And if I convert this to cm, what will it become?
600.
600? Good. Now you got that and that. Recalculate the volume now. Let's start with the area. The area was equal to 7, right?
And then 7 times 600.
That's it. So this is going to be
4,200
centimeter cubed. Done. Alright, how are we doing with time? We've got 10 minutes left, eh? Okay, good. Covered a lot of work there. How's your trigonometry skills? So.
Yeah.
Alright. There's so, right? Do you know that?
Yeah.
Okay. Sine of theta equals?
Hypotenuse and opposite.
Okay, good. This can be written as like this. You can have sine 32, let's say, degrees equals x over 5. You can also have sine of 33 equals 5 over x. Or you can have a situation where you have to find the angle, where you've got sine of an angle is equal to 5 over 7. Those are the 3 possible questions that you can get in trigonometry. The first one here, the unknown is at the top. The bottom one here, the unknown is at the bottom. And the third one here, the unknown is the angle. So the unknown here is at the top. The unknown here is at the bottom. And the unknown here is the angle. For the first one, when you want to calculate the x, what you have to do is you have to multiply when it's at the top. And what do you multiply? You take the 5 across and you multiply. 5 times sine 32, and that gets you x. When it's at the bottom, you swap them around. So you take those two and you swap it around, and you get x equals to 5 divided by sine 33. So top multiply, bottom swap, and when it's an angle, you press shift sign, right? This is where you press shift on your calculator, and you go shift sign, then you put that fraction in there, 5 over 7. Okay, let's try one of these, right? You're going to try and get the unknown. Okay, all right. I've got sine of 25 is equal to x over 7. I've got sine of 35 is equal to 8 over x. And I've got sine of some angle is equal to 2 over 3. Try and find the missing numbers. set, press shift.
And then do I just enter 2 over 3?
Then you just put 2 over 3 in. Press equal.
My figures are going out.
It's going on.
No,
Oh. Oh yeah, his car's not here.
Oh, that's 41.8.
41.8. Okay. Perfect. So that's 41.8 degrees. Done.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, 5 minutes left now. What we're gonna do, you're gonna draw these triangles. Maybe draw 4 triangles. Like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then one going this way, and another one going this way. Just sketch it with your hands, just freely, right? It must look more or less like a right angle triangle. Okay, you're going to label O equals opposite, A equals adjacent, and H for hypotenuse. So O, A, or H, depending on where the angle is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to put the theta here, the theta here, theta here, and theta here. And for each one, you're going to label opposite, hypotenuse, adjacent. Do you know what to do?
So where is the angle?
So the angle is this theta here.
What is it called?
Angle. It's okay. It's called theta. Pronounced like that. Yeah. So if I'm standing here, let's say I'm Spider-Man and I'm standing here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I shoot a web.
That's the opposite.
That's the opposite. Okay, so that's going to be O, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then right next to me.
Hypotenuse.
So another word for if something is right next to you, it's adjacent to you.
Oh, yeah.
So right next to you would be.
Okay.
Then look for the 90 to find the H. Look for the 90 to find the H. Because it's always on the other side of the H. So you go across from the 90 and you got H.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now label all of those. O-A-H.
Top right.
Okay, I'll put the answers and you can check.
Yeah.
All right, cool. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now, from this here, we know that sine is always opposite over hypotenuse. Cos is adjacent over hypotenuse. And tan is opposite over adjacent. Okay, so this is the last one, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I have a triangle like this, and I know the following information, I know that this is A, this is F, and this is G, and my angle is over here. Sine of theta will be G over F, cos of theta will be A over F, and tan of theta will be G over F. Alright, if I give you another one over here at the bottom, can you get me sine, cos, and tan in terms of the letters? So theta is here, and I say this is A, T, and V. What will sine of theta be for this one? So the first thing you remember, this is opposite, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why that's opposite, which is the same as it.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is hypotenuse, which is the same as it.
The sine is A,
Yeah.
and
Over
also the T,
T. Good. Cos.
is V
Yeah.
over T.
Good. And tan.
Tan is A over T.
B. Okay, good. All right, we'll stop there.